Liverpool, you go to a place like Burnley and they fight with all they have and stuff like this. It's not nice. We are both pretty animated at a pitch and very emotional, I would say, on the sideline. And that I can imagine that people maybe think we don't have the best relationship. We don't have a relationship really because we meet only a couple of times a year. But it's just more and more I learn about this league and how competitive this league is. And before you know it, but you really know it only when you feel it. I couldn't respect more what he's doing. That's the truth. Because how he sets it up and how competitive they are every year. And now again, they have around about 40 something odd points, and they will probably will have more than 50. And that's incredibly difficult. And with the injuries and with setbacks you get over a year, it's incredibly difficult. And he's doing an incredible job, honestly. Yeah, and during the lockdown, we had some Zoom calls, but that was, seems to be a good guy. So what can I say? That's all.
Okay, you're not going to divulge any more on those calls, are you? No. Just looking as well, Curtis Jones, when he scored against Villa, became the 17th different player to score for Liverpool this season, which equals a club record. I'm just wondering what satisfaction maybe you can take from that it's not just the three guys up front scoring all the goals, it's almost everybody. Yeah,
that's good. That's how it should be. Nobody, and especially the way we play, nobody is, or we don't say you are not allowed to score. You have to stay always there. And okay, the centre halves are not that often involved in offensive action apart from set pieces for the final situation. But even they, of course, can score. And it's good. It's exactly how it should be. If you want to be successful, the goals need to come from everywhere, pretty much. And so that helps us, of course. But Curtis, we heard now, I think 2 days ago, I heard now that that the two up front were involved in 250 goals since we worked together. That's a great number as well. And so it's good that we all score, but it's very good that the three up front score especially often. So that helps in all the games, but especially in the very tight games. And that's it.
Juliet?
Jurgen, just going back to Jordan and the injury, we saw how he lifted the Champions League trophy last season. Will he be able to lift obviously the trophy for the Premier League this season? But also, do you have kind of a sympathy for him for missing out on what's going to be that sort of title lifting match against Chelsea?
Oh yes, we all felt very much. Oh, it was an awful moment when he went down, when he left the pitch. We knew immediately. Hendo is a how can I say? In Germany, we would say he's an animal. He fights with everything. So if he has pain, they will never tell you. So he can really deal well with pain. And in this moment, when you saw, he knew something happened, what not should have happened. We all felt it. It was a complete mood killer. Boys came in, didn't know exactly. 3-1, great. I told them winning an away game in the Premier League is exceptional for all teams in the world, and it's exceptional for us. So we should be really happy about that. The boys were happy about that. And then you realize, Hendo is around the corner on the bed. So we were everybody felt for him. Absolutely. He deserves to lift the trophy, and he will lift the trophy. And so I said, no surgery needed. That's the good news. And for all the rest, we can make our own decisions, or I think a few decisions at least, how it will be around the trophy lift. Hendo will lift the trophy.
Fantastic, thank you, Juliet. Mike Hughes, I think is. In fact, sorry, Mike. Actually, we'll go to TalkSport and then we'll come to you. Staying in order. Sorry, Mike.
Jurgen, last time you played Burnley, we had the incident between Mo Salah and Sadio Mane. Sadio wasn't very happy that Mo didn't pass in the ball. How would you describe the relationship between the two of them? Is there a healthy competition between the pair when it comes to goal scoring?
I'm not sure if there's a competition, but that's all healthy. Let me say it like this: they want to score goals. That's completely normal, and these things are always made up a little bit because it's clear. If you are a striker and you shoot in a situation you don't score, then there's with an 98% percentage opportunity would have been an opportunity for you to pass the ball somewhere else. So that happens very often, and then people make something of it or not. So it's really, but never. It was never. It was never a bad relationship or whatever. There are moments when people think, everybody thinks, no, you could pass the ball here, you could pass the ball there. But in my 20 years as a manager, I don't think I had more than 2 talks. And I kind of remember these talks, talking to a striker that he's too selfish, because strikers have to make decisions. They have to make decisions. And this decision is the most important thing in a football game. I finished the situation off. If you didn't see it, well, then we can talk about and we can show the situation, but I had never a situation where I thought a player is selfish or too selfish. It was always about overview and stuff like this. In a moment, it's really in that area, so many legs are around and you need to make sure that you can stay on, can keep the ball and finish the situation off. No, it's all good. Absolutely all good.
Fantastic. Then we'll go to Mike Hughes, BBC Merseyside.
Hi, Jurgen. Naby Keita was a key figure for you the other night. His injury problems since he joined Liverpool could hardly have been worse, but is that sort of performance against Brighton, where he was the epitome of the counter-pressing style that you use? How much more is there to come from Naby Keita? And do you think now he's beginning to get more of a rhythm because he's playing a bit more regularly, growing in confidence?
Yeah, it's a mix of all. Of course, injuries never help and cost you for sure rhythm, and especially when you're a new player. People forget that, but when he joined us, he started exceptionally well. But then it started with injuries as well, so that didn't help to settle properly. That's now 100% different. So now he is completely settled in the squad. Everything is fine. Knows all the people around. That makes it all different. And then, not to forget, he was not in a team in the first 11 when we had incredible runs. So in the last 2 years, we didn't lose a lot of game. And as long as the players were fit and stuff like this, it's just difficult to come in, especially after an injury, when you try to get rhythm and all these kind of things. So now it's all different. He's in a really good moment anyway, but fit as well. And plus being settled now, that makes life easier and very good football possible when you have the skill set of Naby Keita. So it's just really, really good. And the counter press or high press or things like this, he was used to from Leipzig. Huh? So it's not that we had to adjust. It's part of the performance. And if you are not on your highest level, but you want to perform on the highest level, then it's a constant fight with the inner fight with yourself. So, and now because of the injuries, he barely had rhythm. Now he has rhythm. It's good. And now we have to make sure that he can keep that at least until the end of the season. And then we have another little break and then we will carry on.
The game against Brighton, it was a cracking match, probably closer than you would have liked, but you had to withstand some really creative work from Brighton. Defensively, you had to do your job. In some ways, is that a real indicator of how every Premier League game against whoever you're up against, there are constantly challenges. And even when you're 2-0 up after 8 minutes, you really have to stay at it.
Oh yeah, but that's a big compliment. A big compliment for Brighton and Graham Potter. It's really incredible what he's doing there, I have to say. So because I think being that early 2-0 down is not every team can deal with that, especially when you're fighting for the league, what Brighton is still doing. There are moments, I think there are teams out there where you could think, okay, they are now broke. But it didn't happen and never happened to Brighton. And so apart from that, the way they play, the way they approach a game is pretty different. So yes, each Premier League game is a challenge. They have all different challenges, but the way they do it is pretty special for a team who fights for staying in the league. And I said it after the game, I couldn't respect it more. It's absolutely great. But it was in the end a little bit as well, like so their setup needed some little adjustments from us. We did that. They needed some adjustments as well for the things we did. For example, they had a playing build-up until we won the ball twice and scored. Then they didn't do that anymore. So you need to react in a game, of course. And we had to react in our positioning of the protecting midfielders and how the wingers set up. So we did that. In the end, we deserved to win. We could have scored much more goals. Yes, Brighton could have scored as well. But in the end, with all results and all using all chances, we were the deserved winner. And that's all I need on a night like this. You don't need, we want to be perfect, but we barely are, but we never are. So you take what you get. And in this game, we did a lot of really good stuff and deserved the 3 points. Brighton did a lot of good stuff as well, and deserved the goal, I would say. And that's, for me, then absolutely okay.
Okay, Carl Markham, and then the last one in the open is going to be, I think it's Hideo, and then we're on to the embargo if I have no other requests. Carl, over to you.
Hi, Jurgen. Mo Salah is 1 goal away from making it 20 league goals for a 3rd successive season. I just wonder, how much of an achievement is that sort of consistency in the Premier League?
I think we spoke, didn't we say something similar about Sadio now? There you go. So it's incredible. we would not be where we are if these boys would not perform on this consistent high level. And Mo now, of course, come on. He's not the numbers. His numbers are crazy, absolutely crazy. I don't know exactly. He's involved in 100 goals since he's here, 73, 27. Yeah. So just outstanding numbers, just world-class numbers. Yeah. And nobody should be surprised anymore, because the boys show that week in and week out since a while already. And yeah, we know that it's special, but there's a lot of work in, and we only can score if you invest that in each game, if you are in the right positions, that you do the right thing, and that was the boys were always ready to do, and what they have to do still. And then, yeah, it will continue, and long may it continue. That would be great.
Just a follow-up on that. Do you think some of the players are maybe actively trying to help him towards another golden boot? Because it looked like Firmino passed up the chance to shoot on Wednesday and for Salah to come in and score.
I hope the boys were not in that mood in that moment, but when I saw the situation back, it was just because of Bobby's football intelligence. He was not in the best position. If he would have shot, it's a completely different finish. So Mo came around and was in a much better place to finish it off than just Bobby. And I don't think he left the ball because he thinks Mo should win the golden boot or whatever. It's just about because you cannot have this kind of mindset. Football is too quick that you could do that. And where's help needed? I don't know. We all help each other. But we have with Sadio another contender, if you want, with 16. I think it's not too close, but it's not impossible as well. So they all want to score goals. Bobby wants to score goals. They all shall want that, and that's exactly the mindset we need. That they want to be decisive. They really want to decide football games, and that's the mindset a striker needs.
Fantastic, Hideo. Hopefully, I'll pronounce your name correctly. If you'd like to ask your question, and then we'll go to the.
Hi, Jurgen. I want to ask a question about Minamino, and I know it's not really fair to judge him on stats given his limited playing time, but he hasn't been involved in any goals so far. Would you still be happy as long as he's making contributions in other areas of the game?
Absolutely, and with the goal scoring, it's anyway. But it was really unlucky. I think in the last, not sure in the last game, but for sure in the game before, he was really unlucky that the twice already. He could have scored 2-3 times already. Absolutely, with exactly the same performances he had. So it's all good. Things just need time, and we have a really strong football team. And so the boys, it's not easy to come in this football team. The only thing you can do is training really, really hard and good on a high level, and that is what Taki is doing. So we are completely happy, all good, but things need sometimes time, especially here. It was always like this, and so he just has to carry on. He will do. So we are completely fine.
Okay. Fantastic.